This is Aidan, a 23-year-old entrepreneur from Toronto. Before email marketing, he did dropshipping, Facebook ads, but none of this worked out for him. He switched to email marketing, and even though first couple of months were a struggle for him, he was able to sign clients that pay him more than 6 figures a year to write emails. So in this video, we talk about his journey, what it takes to sign high-ticket clients, and retain them. Enjoy the video. All right, everybody, welcome to another video on my channel. And today I have a special guest, one of my best friends, Aidan, who I've known for 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah, 5 years.
Since university. So we met actually, quick little background, we met in university when I used to go to school before I dropped out and became a full-time email marketer.
Likewise.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we met at university while actually just partying at a random dorm. Stayed in touch, and now Aidan does email marketing. And and what's also cool is that we travel to Cape Town together, Dubai together, Colorado, I forgot, Colorado, Miami, so many of different places. And for both of us, it's because of email marketing. So I think it would be awesome to just kind of for you to come in and share your journey. People have heard what I've done, people have heard from other people as well, but I think it would be cool. And we had made a video 2 years ago, but I feel like so much has changed since then. So I would love for you to kind of, share and update the people. But before we even get started, man, give them a quick background on just, you. And I would say like what you were trying to pursue before you got into email marketing and what you thought you would do. And then the journey or what led you to kind of go, all right, I'm going to stick to emails. I think that would be really cool to start off with.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a super relatable story, right? Started off money hungry, grew up, loved cars, knew that money needed to be part of my life in order to live the life I wanted to do, drive the cars I wanted to drive. And so early high school, we're going to go way back there. Obviously lawyer, doctor, that's what you're told. So you're going to study hard. My grades were incredible first couple of years of high school until I started watching Gary Vee, right? You start watching Gary Vee and then you realize, okay, there's a little bit more opportunity out there than you might think. You go down that drop shipping rabbit hole, Amazon FBA. Obviously, everything I did in high school was absolutely brutal. Didn't make a penny until I got to university, opened up a drop shipping store with a good friend of mine who I grew up with. Didn't make a penny, quit probably 3 to 5 months in. Decided to then get into emails kind of after I met you. I don't know how much you know about this side of the story. I had another good friend who was semi-successful with drop shipping. And I did his emails for probably a quarter, 3-4 months. And they were okay. Nothing great. And obviously, then I had trouble with client acquisition, had another opportunity come into my plate, and that was doing Facebook ads for mortgage brokers. So quit emails, moved right into Facebook ad for mortgage brokers, probably did that for 6-7 months. At this point, I'm getting a little bit older. I'm, 18 going on 19 now, first year of uni. My goal is to drop out, make some money. I'm just pursuing as much opportunity as I can. And so with that said, I started investing a little bit, bit, $500 for courses, $1,000 here and there for the ads and getting my name out there, going to meet people in person. I try to be a bit more of an adult, a bit more of a businessman than just clicking buttons. And that went better, right? I learned a whole lot about advertising, marketing. I was actually, in the trenches, making a bit of money, and actually putting in the work with some brokers. However, I don't know how much patience, some of you might have if you remember being at that age, doing ads for mortgage brokers. There was no real direct feedback. You have to wait 6 months for someone to qualify, then buy a house. So I quit before I even saw my first pre-qualification turn into a deal. So right now I'm just a quitter. I'm now 19 years old. I'm a quitter. We're getting closer as friends at this point. And you were opening up, I think it was your second course, or maybe it was your first course. Either way.
Maybe the second version of it.
Yeah, maybe the second version. I joined it, really went through it, got a little bit more comfortable with emails. After doing that whole mortgage thing, I knew what it was going to take in order to become successful. And that was months and months, if not a year plus, working consistently at something. And then I joined the inner circle. And that is the biggest thing for me was making connections within your course, knowing more than just you, more people than just you, being successful at email marketing, at agency work. And that's when things really started to take off for me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's crazy to think about, when it comes to you trying all these things and even doing emails, quitting and then coming back. It says a lot about timing, and I guess let's talk about, just some of the early stages, which is the drop shipping and then the Facebook ads for lead gen, yes. Okay. that's the thing with that with this online world. There's so many business models out there, right? But
Yeah.
it like I think many people, they just focus so much on the pros that they're not even thinking about the cons until they get into it, right? Like for me, with drop shipping is like I can make a lot of money, but we're like, wait, product needs to be shipped, customer needs to be happy, website, ads. You're like, oh my God, it's like harder than if I was to just work a job and, you know, get paid the same amount, because if anything, I'm losing money drop shipping, right? So talk about like, I would say, I know your drop shipping phase, and I remember when we were together, you were testing out different products like the incense, all these different products. But I think I want to hear your experience more on the Facebook ads.
Yeah.
The Facebook, because you know, we have some people in our community as well that switch from Facebook ads to email. Right. And talk about like why you did that, why the transition for that. You know, outside of just working with mortgage brokers, like there's the service of Facebook ads itself.
Yeah. Okay. Facebook ads itself. Again, looking back, these are all my mentality of an 18-year-old who's just trying to figure things out. But with that said, obviously Facebook ads just weren't that fulfilling. I didn't do much creative. Again, in the mortgage broker space, you don't need to. A lot of stock images, a lot of copy work, which is great. You're going to learn copy. Learn patience, learn how to speak with people, potential clients, prospects, my actual clients. And, you know, just kind of matured as a business person a little bit in that sense. Which was great to get my start when it came to running an agency. But the reason why I didn't want to do it is simply because it just didn't feel as fulfilling to me. Now, you know, with emails, and I know this can be said now with ads, again, this is my mind as an 18-year-old. I was like, there's not much content creation going on with these ads, which meant it was just not fulfilling. I didn't really see my work coming into fruition. Long time for the lead to turn into a buyer, and not really any creation. So I just kind of felt like it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like I was doing much. But the one thing that was good, I know we're talking about the cons, but I do want to talk about the pros. Because obviously something I was doing for these mortgage brokers was building out pre-qualification automated systems via SMMA. Right. So, you know, being able to understand how the flow of conversation works between automated messaging and an actual human being. And working that into obviously email automations, you know, speaking to customers in emails, you know, because emails aren't ads. They're not ads. They're a form of communication to somebody's customer base. And when you're writing ads, you are a little bit disconnected from the actual customer itself. However, when you're writing the lead forms, the funnels behind the ads, then you can get a little bit more specific. And that's kind of what helped boil over into emails.
Got you. Yeah, for sure. You know, even though some of these business models that you tried or different ventures that you tried didn't work out, for sure, each thing taught you one or two things that's helping you right now. You know, that's why it's like, that's why the advice to anyone who's, even if you're not writing emails or you just want to start something, the best thing to do is just to do, right? It's just fail, do and fail, because we both went through the phases where we tried things and failed, and us doing that taught us something that led us to what we're doing now, you know? I mean, for me, dropshipping was what led me to email. So, you know, even though I failed with dropshipping, like it led me to where I'm now. Let's talk about the early stages of when you said, all right, I'm going all in with email. I'm assuming it's not like, all right, I'm going all in with email, 6 figures, clients everywhere, you know? I know there was a period of obstacles. There's a period of just growth, you know? Talk about that period before you even got your first client, you know, like the trenches, bro. Like, what did that look like, man?
Yeah. So at this point, I was in third year of university, so it would have been early 2020. And it was probably around February, March that I made the decision that I was going to go all in on email. The decision was kind of made for me. You know, I can't take full credit. It's when COVID happened, right? Right. When COVID happened, I lost 2 internships that, you know, were going to be good for me. They were, again, in the real estate industry. I've already done an internship this summer before. So I was just making my way, trying to make a name for myself in that industry young. So who knows what path that would have looked like if I started that if COVID never happened. Doesn't matter, because I lost those 2 internships. So I had to go all in on something. At this point, yeah, obviously we're good friends now. And that's an opportunity, right? That's an open door. Low-hanging fruit. I'm going to walk right through that door. So I don't remember if you remember the conversations we had, but I pretty much told you I'm getting serious about this. Don't care how long it's going to take. We're at home anyways in quarantine, so let's make this work. Right. That's when you said, dude, I'm working on this inner circle. I'll let you know when it's ready. Would love to have you involved. Just go through the course right now. Right. And I don't remember how long it took between making that decision and getting into the inner circle, but obviously that helped me a whole lot. But a crazy story for those of you that are starting out. is, and I don't know how much you know about this story either. It took me from the moment of deciding I want to do this, so losing those internships and saying I'm going all in, it took me 7 or 8 months to land my first paying client. And that's after having previous experience the previous summer working for my friend who did drop shipping. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It was super humbling.
Well, let's stop there and talk about that, because like that's normal, you know, because again, like I think I said this in the last video I made, is that first of all, it's very unlikely that a business is profitable right away, or even in the first year. If you just look at traditional businesses, it's just we've been blessed to have an opportunity right now and skill, and even just through freelancers where we can make money and like profit, you know? So this is not reality for a lot of businesses and a lot of people out there. So even what you went through is so normal. And the reason I say it's so normal is because you didn't quit. Right? Because I know many people, of course, you know, I've seen so many people try to go through this phase who quit 3-4 months in.
Yeah. Well, you just heard it from me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you could have, right? They didn't get it for months. Like, you know, like, it's not working out. Maybe they got distracted and dropped this. But again, it's the 8 months of nothing happening. Literally, as Gary Vee says, your favorite person in the world, eating shit. Eating shit, you know, for 8 months till you got your first client, right? So, like, I just want to point that out. And like, anyone that's a beginner, and forget email, copywriting, whatever you're doing, if things don't work out, you got to keep doing it. Because the minute you quit, first of all, you're a bitch. And second of all, again, this is not reality, man. Like, the reality of the thing is that it's going to take for time for something fruitful to happen. Because otherwise, everyone around us would just decide, I'm gonna be an email marketer, and we'll all be email marketing millionaires instantly, right? If that's how it worked, right? But that's not how reality works. So yeah, talk about getting your first couple of clients. Talk about and then you know, I should talk about how you got your first clients. You know, because I'm assuming you had so many different ways you were trying to lead gen for the 8 months, but how did you close that client? How did it feel? And then we'll go from there, because I want to ask some questions about your some other clients that you have as well.
Yeah, so that's a great story. First of all, just want to reiterate, I can't take too much credit because I did quit. I was a quitter. I quit many times. I quit emails. And then a year later, started it back up. So I did learn the hard way. You'll start to notice I learned everything the hard way. But yeah, again, it took me 7 or 8 months. I think the number was 7 till I landed my first paying client. And at the end of that 7 months, I actually landed my first 2 paying clients in the same month. But the one of them, the first one that I landed that month, it actually took me the full 7 months of follow-up to land.
Oh, wow.
They gave me their number, their WhatsApp, right back in, like, I think it was May of 2020. And I kept going back and forth with them. They would answer me. You know, they wouldn't answer me. They would ghost me. They wouldn't answer me. I told myself I would follow up with them every week. Didn't care until they told me no. They never told me no. They're just busy. And I didn't really understand at the time, but now as a business owner, I understand when you're busy. I got people that want to work with me. I want to work with them too. I just got to get around to it.
There's just so much,
right? There's so much going on.
That is true.
So I didn't understand at the time. You know, I probably cursed him out a few times. But eventually he's like, okay, dude, I think I'm ready. Let's get on a call. I'd love to hear some of your ideas. And I closed him. It took me 7 or 8 months to do that. So that was a super great feeling. And then again, I think a couple weeks after that, had another opportunity land on my plate. This is all from Instagram, by the way. Back in 2020, I was just doing straight Instagram outreach.
Just cold DMs?
Cold DMs. And the first 2 or 3 months that I had these clients, my first 2 or 3 months of making money, I made over 10K. Each month. Like over 10K each month. So I was like, holy shit. Like, this is crazy. It was a crazy feeling.
Is it around 2021?
No, this is 2020 still.
Oh,
the end of 2020. This is this is going into Q4 of 2020. So it had been end of September. I closed these 2 clients. And it was crazy, bro. Like, it was nuts. I made 10K a month for the first like 2-3 months of working with them. Obviously, you know, with an experience, you got to expect that that's not going to last. And I made mistakes.
For sure.
I lost one of the clients. The other client, there was negotiations because the rev share was a little bit ridiculous. So I was humbled again. Again, part of the business. Something I didn't understand, had to learn the hard way. And it took me another, I think it was 5 or 6 months to get back to 5 figures. So a lot of lessons, but I stuck with it. Again, follow up every week for 7 months, and I made it happen. And that's still one of my clients to this day, right? So nothing is as simple as it seems on social media. You know, you see these guys getting clients, keeping clients, Doesn't work that way. In the background, everybody's struggling.
Yeah, that's a huge point to make, is that you never want to be blinded by people just telling you they're signing clients, because it's so much deeper than signing clients, right? It's like a guy flexing that he made out with a girl. You know what I mean? It's like, what is that? Like, what?
Yeah, how many other guys did she make out with?
Yeah, like, bro. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much deeper, you know what I'm saying? Did you marry the girl? Like, that's what we care about, marriage, right? In this analogy, right? Yeah. So, but, no, 100% true, you know, and then in the beginning, like, even though you're making money, like, things may seem right. I think Ty Lopez said this, you're more of a firefighter than an entrepreneur. We're just putting out fires. Yeah. Every day there's a fire and you're putting it out. A question I had for you, I don't know if it's actually the same client that you were just talking about, but I know one of your client is a, higher ticket client of yours, you have a good relationship with. And I wanted to talk about, I guess, that aspect of, like, for people that want to pursue and sign high ticket clients that can pay them 5 figures, that can pay them over, let's just say 6 figures a year, right? Like, forget just the acquisition, because, that can be done in many ways. And I would love for you to share that, which I'm assuming is Instagram DMs, but the fulfillment and working with them, because I know it's different. It's very different from trying to work with a guy that's paying you 4K retainer versus 10K retainer. So I think, I'm assuming you close it from Instagram DM. We know that. But talk about what it's like actually working, because people want high ticket clients, but I think many don't realize what it actually comes with it. So I would love for you to share that.
It's hard to explain if you haven't worked in an actual corporation or in a big environment, because there's lots going on, right? There's a lot going on and there's a lot changing. So unfortunately, as proactive as you want to be, the reality of things is you're going to have to be reactive as an entrepreneur in general, but especially working with higher ticket clients. And as you progress and those clients naturally come to you, you can only be as proactive as possible. And by the way, before I get into that, it's the most important thing to be proactive, to have systems.
Would that also be like dependent on who the client is?
Absolutely.
I was going to say
100%.
Because I've also had some people that are like, that they are so proactive that they keep us that way. Like, they are so organized, they're so on top of things that, like, it helps us. But then we also know the latter, where I'm dealing with the ADHD person that's just, like, changing their mind every day, right? So, like, what was it like that for you?
So I've worked with a couple brands like this, and it usually, for what I've said, what it seems to me is the more people that's in the organization, the more you are going to have to be reactive.
Yeah, I guess.
A lot of ideas, right? A lot of ideas, a lot of different decision making, broken telephone. We all know how that works.
Yeah, it's the worst. We actually had to drop a client because of that. Yeah, because we were talking to 5 people and it was like different conversations with 5 different people, which is horrible. Yeah.
So it's really just being on top of that. Again, your systems is going to be important. Sharing that with the client, setting the precedent as soon as you start working with them. Beginning of every quarter on all the important calls, here's how I'm going to do it, right? And you have to be prepared. So for example, when you go into these calls with these bigger clients, you have to have everything ready for them. And then all of their ideas are going to slot into yours. That's how I found it to work. Because when you just get on the call and you're like, okay, let's plan out the marketing for this quarter. And they give you ideas and you give them ideas, nothing happens. If you come with something that you're already working with your other clients, you have in your systems already, this is what we did last year, here's what's going to work great for you. And then they just come in and say, okay, yeah, I like this, but I had an idea, so just change. You know what I mean? That's what works. So that's the proactive part. The reactive part is the day-to-day, right? Hey, bro, we got to stop this promotion because we actually ran out of stock earlier than we thought. Inventory this, blah, blah, blah. The marketing person here, you know what I mean? That's the reactive stuff, is the day-to-day, which you can handle. Anybody should be able to handle. However, if you are not proactive, then things are going to come at you fast when you're getting on those important calls. Yeah,
for sure. Let's talk a little bit more emails, and then we'll kind of talk about some life stuff as well. But I would love for you to share some obstacles that you had, right? Of course, you had the 8 months of no signing clients, and then also some obstacles as you sign clients. But share some of the top ones that may be common that would honestly just think of as if someone that's listening to is just starting out. Advice that you can give them based on your experience and obstacles that you went through that would help them, first making them aware of what the obstacles was and like what you did to kind of overcome it.
Yeah. You guys are going to hate to hear this because I hated to hear it when I was in your position. But a lot of the obstacles comes from inexperience and your mentality, right? Sounds ridiculous, but there's no way to put it other than when you become better, you can look back and realize how shit you were at something.
Yeah.
Right. I've been doing this for 3 years now. And I'm at the point now where I already know I'm going to be so much better than the next year. Yeah, anyways, what the point I'm trying to make is, in my first year of business, I thought I knew everything. I came in very hot in a lot of my client confrontations and stuff because I thought I knew everything. Now looking back 2 years later, I couldn't be further from the truth. Again, working with big clients does help you kind of realize what true business looks like, and how to conduct yourself. But yeah, that's the mentality aspect. And then also that goes into just being humble as well, right? It's great to have an ego, but at the same time, you have to realize how business works. Again, going in hot, this is how I'm doing it.
You can never get emotional.
Don't get emotional.
Ever.
Do not get emotional. Understand that you're growing. Your clients are probably growing. You're growing together. Communication is just super important, and knowing that you are going to be better only if you actually stay consistent and you're looking to be better. You don't just get better from doing the same thing every day. You have to be willing to, research, speak with your team, buy courses for your team, right? Because you're only going to get better if your team gets better as well.
Right.
So it's all about focusing on improvement, and knowing that, you don't know everything. So that's why it stems from mentality.
For sure. Love it. Thank you for sharing that. And last we'll just, talk about some fun stuff. I know, we traveled. We've traveled a lot this year, right?
Yeah.
Cape Town, Dubai. We have another Cape Town trip coming, Colorado. Like, how did it feel, like that feeling for the first time, realizing like, oh, like me traveling is not actually taken away. Like, of course, you're not as productive if you have a routine and you're set somewhere, right? For sure. But like, it's very different if you work, let's say, as a mortgage broker. You can't just go to Cape Town and think you're going to run your business from there, right? Like in Toronto, have a mortgage broker in Toronto. That'll be, I don't think that's possible. But to have the feeling and knowing that, oh shit, like I can be anywhere in the world and be able to travel, like what did that feel like?
That's a good question. It's really weird, actually. Before I actually get into the travel aspect, I remember when it was my first year and I was starting to make some money, and you invited me to play tennis. At this point, I'm still programmed to be in school or to be at work, right? So it was a Wednesday afternoon, and we were working right here in this room, actually, and we took a break and we went over to play tennis. And I had a realization moment where, like, wow, if this didn't play out for me, I'd have to be in an office right now, or actually, I think at that point it would have been my 4th year, so I would have been in a classroom. That's a crazy feeling. Though you can't really put it into words, but I'm sure, just manifesting it, you can just consider what it actually might be like. And then obviously that's just accentuated when you're actually traveling, and working from somewhere else, and meeting different people, and just realizing that the opportunity you have from being from having location freedom, financial freedom, from having location freedom is pretty unmatched, especially at our age. Just makes you so much of a better person. And obviously just being grateful for it is for sure really, really important, because, when you get in the middle of things and, you're fighting fires, how quickly you can.
It's hard. It's easy to lose perspective.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I agree. But again, hey, thank you so much for coming, sharing your story, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Very proud of you. Very proud of the progression you've done, progression you've had, and just where you're going, man. It's just a start. We understand that. I'm going to put all his socials under the video. He's also in our community. So if you are he's not that active, but he's active here and there.
Not as active as you'd like, but I'm always happy. If you want to reach out to me on Instagram, that's probably where you can get me best.
Yeah.
Always happy to help. Slide into my Instagram. Let me know where you came from. I get a lot of DMs from people just, hey, dude, I see you do email marketing. It's like, not having this conversation right now.
Right.
So let me know where you came from. I'm always happy to chat if that's the case. I do want to say, dude, thank you for obviously everything you do. You don't have to be doing this. This guy goes above and beyond. He really does. I couldn't be more appreciative of everything you've done for me, everything you've done for everybody. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again for watching the video, guys. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.